all this goes in the bus.
This video is brought to you by Nokian Tires, a leader in safety and sustainability. Maximize performance and efficiency with their made in USA all-season tires and their dedicated Hakkapeliitta EV winter line from the inventor of the winter tire. Learn more at nokiantires.com/EV.
And welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. You join me in beautiful Southern California at the EV Learning Center. Now, this is a center I've just found out about, and I am so enthused with this, and I think you guys will truly love the work that's going on here. We're going to meet with a few different presenters from the EVLC, but this is very much a nonprofit, volunteer-run electric vehicle education center where it's not just like, here's how to charge your car, here's how to use it. No, we're talking about the ABCs of the construction of electric mobility. Everything from e-scooters up to Tesla Model Ys as an example. Everything that goes into making these cars run and drive, from the battery cell to the modular level to electric motors to the integration. There are hands-on classes done here in the San Diego area all about restoring, renewing, everything to do with classic electric cars and modern electric cars. It's amazing. So in this video, it's going to be a full tour of the EV Learning Center. Guys, will you join me at the EV Learning Center? And what I'm about to take you on a tour of is truly insane. And it's actually something I've only heard about recently, but it's this type of situation, this type of education should have been happening over the last 10 years and have been widespread. The way that I like to explain this, so that I have been sort of processing this because I'm so excited, it's amazing, is you can go up to any normal car enthusiast, any normal person who understands mechanical stuff, and the understanding of a combustion engine and drivetrain is pretty well known. Everyone understands you need to take air, spark, and fuel, compress it together, and you move essentially through a combustion engine. Everyone understands the concept of cylinders. You have a 4-cylinder or a 6-cylinder or an 8-cylinder engine. They understand automatic transmission versus manual and differentials and these types of very basic understanding. But even some electric vehicle enthusiasts don't understand the inner workings of the car. They think maybe their battery pack is just one component. And what type of cell chemistry is it? Is it NMC or LFP? Or how is it wired? Or does it have active thermal management? And these topics on the electric side seem so much more far-fetched and for almost the nerds, if you will, than the general understanding of combustion transportation. And what the EVLC is trying to provide is the basic ABCs of EVs in classes here that people can generally understand. This isn't a specialty shop where you're going to learn how to do a motor controller on a Model 3 drive unit as an example, but we're talking component level into electric vehicles that people can say, oh, DC to DC converter, I kind of know what that does. I know what an onboard charger does. You know, these types of situations. So this is all about increasing the knowledge base of electric vehicles. Interestingly enough, it's in the same parking lot as EV West just over here. We can see our friend Michael Bream just off on the right-hand side. Here comes our friends Patrick and Liv in our Model S. They were just doing some driving around, went to Supercharge for their first time ever. These are the things. We're early days of EVs when Patrick and Liv they just had their first supercharging experience. But what I want to do is introduce you to Mr. G, and Mr. G is a shop teacher in New Jersey who came all the way out here for the summer to teach classes on electric vehicles and electric vehicle conversions. There's a bunch of different types of classes that will be taught here, from how to actually make battery packs for e-bikes or e-scooters for students, you know, from middle to high school, all the way to an adult class where what they're working on here today is a full electric vehicle conversion of my friend Tom Summers' soon to be electric Volkswagen bus. The people that are involved here are all genuine. The time here is all donated, and it is so amazing. And I want Out of Spec to be as much of a part of this as possible. So I'm just, again, beaming. I'm so excited. It's so amazing. Let's meet Mr. G, go on a full tour. We'll then talk to Tom about the specific bus that they're using for this conversion process. And of course, we'll talk to Lou about the battery pack class that he's coming up with. And then we'll end the video. It's amazing. I'm here with Mr. G outside the EVLC.
Hey, it's Mr. G. Man, I came all the way from Jersey.
That's right. You came all the way out here from
Yeah.
New Jersey to help people learn about EVs.
Well, back east, I am a high school shop teacher. Yes, they still are around. And back in 2008, when it was a perfect storm, gas prices went to $4 a gallon, and I had learned about EVs from Mr. Q in San Diego. That's Brum Quevedo. He was an old auto shop teacher that turned into an electric car guy.
Okay.
And then also at the same time, the school where I work asked, hey, who wants to start a new class? And I was like, yeah, let's do electric cars. So I did that 2008, and I just kept on doing it. And then one of my suppliers became EV West. Ta-da!
Yeah, literally right here. That's amazing that you're right
Yeah.
across the street.
So
from
as you know,
West.
EV West, award-winning, record-breaking company, and so then I stayed in touch with them, and then eventually, one summer they said, "Hey, we're going to start a school. It's not our school, but we're going to participate in the development of it, and that's the EVLC, the Electric Vehicle Learning Center. So let's take a tour."
Yeah, please take us around. This place looks amazing. First of all, I can't believe I was just telling some folks, I just learned about this place only 5 days ago, but it seems like the grassroots effort out of this place, the people that are involved are just, I mean, I don't think it can happen anywhere else except for San Diego.
That's right. San Diego is the epicenter of electric vehicle conversion. Yes, I believe it started as a hippie movement, but the hippies quickly did a very practical thing, which was to get the vehicle to actually work. So they actually got vehicles very slow, but it did do highway speed, 40-mile range with lead acid batteries, but they're old race car drivers or they're old mechanics that then wanted to do something about the LA smog, so that when they moved down here to retire, they got into it. That's the overview. I'm sure everybody's story was a little different, but
Yep.
in general, DIY was very much the beginning.
And Jehu's involved, of course, and
Yep.
there's so many different names of people that are all, sort of pitching in, and it just seems like this is the perfect place for this to be. So San Diego's so
and you can
important.
hit the beach.
That's right. We were just talking to Michael. He's like, I just came back from surfing. I'm like, dude, don't you work? You got to build some EVs.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome. I love it. Listen, I like Jersey for the attitude and the pace. I come here to get creative and relax.
It's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
take us on a tour.
Let's do it. Let's
you
do
have
it.
your entrance lobby right here. We had a little gathering in here.
Wait. Before we go in here, we're going into the storm. You got to understand. This is we do have teenager classes, young kid classes on electricity, but right now we have an adult class going on where we're building an EV in 5 weeks. Okay, and we got a deadline, so you're about to enter the storm. Come on.
Okay, let's go see this thing.
All right. Okay. All right. So this is the map. This is how you get from here to there. Okay. So three main components. Three main components are your batteries right here, your batteries, which I'll show you all this stuff, and your speed controller right here. Okay. And where is your motor? Oh, motor's right next to it. Okay. Everything else is just management, logic, control, right? Okay, let's go take a look at it. We have an example. This is our EV cart. This is an EV West educational product, and we use it at the EVLC. This is your batteries right here.
And
So
these you can actually buy.
you can buy this for your school.
Yep.
Okay.
It's super cool.
So this would be like I said, three main components: batteries, speed controller, motor. All right. Everything else is just the management of that. So you plug in your phone, boom, you plug in your car, right here.
Right, you got your J port right here.
Mm-hmm. Alternator. You lose the alternator. We give you an electronic alternator. All right. This is high voltage. All this stuff is like gates and controls. Right. All this goes in the bus. So check it out.
So essentially, this exact kit, maybe with some larger batteries, or is it this same
is
size?
4 modules.
Model S modules.
Let's start with the batteries.
Yeah, yeah.
Right over here. This is 6.
Okay.
Okay, so this is 6 modules with the harnesses are hooked up. The battery management modules are here. We're just individually charging one of the parallel sets right now.
Just to get them in balance before you charge
Then
them all
over
up.
here, very close by, is our controller. This is our motor controller. This whole thing is going to get airlifted. It's going to go where the old gas tank went, right? Okay, once you're in there, there's going to be a motor here, which I could show you. There's your charger. There's your DC to DC. There's your 12 volt. Yes, you still need a 12 volt. Over here is your contactor box on the ceiling. It's tight packaging. You really got to work hard at putting your stuff in, but EV West makes it easy with their bus box. All right. Over here, we got the motor. That's okay. Here's your motor. This is a net gain motor. It's got like 175 foot-pounds of torque. It's probably like triple the horsepower of that gas engine before. Here's your adapter plate. Here's your flywheel, your clutch, and your pressure plate goes on top. This whole unit goes right in there.
And so this class is essentially the first major class that EVLC has done, which is take a relatively well-known conversion kit that EV West is selling and train, I don't know, 5, 10 people, whatever it might be, on how to integrate this kit in a fairly common conversion platform, which is the VW bus or the Bully of old.
When you're doing a conversion for the first time, you want to start with a known vehicle. The Volkswagens are known. It's a very simple vehicle to work on. That's where I would start. Of course, when sometimes people hear that, they think, oh no, man, I want to do a Land Cruiser. I want to do a Discovery. I want to do, okay, great, on your next one.
Right,
do this first.
And what I think the most important thing about this is EVLC isn't going to be just teaching this one singular class over and over. We're going to go outside and talk to Lou in just a little bit about a battery class for kids that he's going to be working on. But you're really here facilitating this full-scale, full-build project that's going to increase the value, increase the usability of that vehicle, and it's all sponsored by Tom Summers, who we'll talk to Tom in a little bit as well, a huge Volkswagen bus enthusiast that I've known for quite some time. But it just seems amazing. First of all, I have to say, the volunteers that are here, because this is a nonprofit,
they're amazing,
all focused on education. You have some of the coolest, most knowledgeable people all involved here. It's amazing.
Yeah, this guy here, seemingly normal. This guy knows how to wrench, how to wire, how to fabricate. He'd solve problems, and it's great. But he's never worked on an EV. So now he's like, hey, you know what? Let me participate and learn something. We also have people that haven't done anything before. I don't know, you've built houses. Ali, he says, he comes in, another seemingly normal guy comes in, hey, I want to try this. Did you ever build an EV before? Drives an EV, never built one before. He's non-stop wiring, putting all this stuff in.
Right, it's amazing.
Ari worked on robotics. It's a very similar situation. He's applying his knowledge here. We got young kids, Oliver's like full of energy. Like if you forget coffee, he is coffee. You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing.
Yeah, and then we got Keanu. Keanu's another robotics guy, right? But now he's never built a full size, so he's working on it. He did a lot of work on this. This looks like, oh, it's done, you just copy it. No, but it takes work because you gotta reinvent it a few times. Like how many times did we draw this section? Like 10 times. A lot. Yeah. But we also teach the basics. So I don't want to overwhelm anybody and say, oh, hey, you got to come in here, you got to know what you're doing. You don't. Literally, like if you this is your best friend, right? When it comes to EVs, literally send it over to. I'm going to teach you guys one lesson.
Yeah, teach you
one lesson. All right, continuity test. All right, that guy right there, a little Wi-Fi looking symbol, that means it's connected. Wouldn't that be important when you're doing an EV? Okay, how do you know the wire's connected? So what you would do is you'd go to your pins and you'd find the spot, and if it beeps, you're connected. Then you could turn the power on, but don't do it before you check it out. Okay.
Amazing, great.
And
knowledge.
Also, there's tons more. Like we even break it down. How does a relay work? So this is a relay demonstration. How does a load test work? We have all of it mapped out for you. So we've got basic classes, but we also have an intermediate class led by Michael Bream, and we have all the volunteers. That's EV 101 intermediate, basically.
So tell us about those other classes. Obviously, this is the big dog. Let's do a full-scale project. These are quite expensive to do. They require, sponsor partners like Tom to bring a vehicle, pay for the components, because this is not cheap stuff at all.
No.
But you do some other classes you were mentioning, beginner, intermediate. We're going to talk about the
we have
battery.
a fundamentals class. We have a battery class that Lou's working on. We have a intermediate, very high level class, but you still could learn something in there, even if you haven't done an EV before. That's our EV 101. It's a comprehensive 3-day class.
Wow.
And then we have this 5-week build. This is the first time we're doing our pressurized 5-week build. August 17th is our Encinitas car show, and then the 18th we're having an open house.
Wow.
Come on in and check it out.
Right, well, we'll definitely let our viewers know, come here if they wanted to sign up for classes, because again, there's two main benefits of doing these classes that I'm finding. A, you're able just to teach someone who's mildly interested in EVs how to work on them, how to restore them, how to convert them. That would be like my camp. But then secondly, you're actually generating a new breed of workforce that can then say, I've been through the EVLC, I know the basic knowledge of electric vehicle operation, and it makes them a much more attractive hire.
100%. In fact, back home in New Jersey, I've been teaching 18 years of shop class, and shout out to all the shop teachers out there. Okay, so some of my students have now worked at Tesla, Proterra, and they can go into confidently saying, yeah, I have experience working on electric cars. Now, don't get me wrong, not everybody has to do electric cars. I still teach the gasoline piston engine. I still teach that, but it's great to have an option. Let's get some options. This is America.
Yeah,
you know
there
what
we
I'm saying?
go.
I want some options. I want to know. I want electric. I want gas. I want all the options. Although it just happens to be that electric is a lot faster. But
Yes.
So we'll see which one's out. But I tell you what, you know, everybody can jump in the game. It's a lot of fun. It's basically electric hot rodding. You know?
It's crazy, and the excitement here is amazing. And so thank you, Mr. G, for all of the information on everything. I definitely want to go outside. We'll talk to Lou a little bit about his battery class. We'll talk to Tom about this, and then of course we'll wrap it up. But thanks for taking the time to show us inside here. That was absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, you joined me outside with Lou, and for those of you who don't know Lou, you've been involved with batteries, battery swapping, electric vehicles for how many years now?
Oh, probably since 2005, 2006.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you obviously are involved now with the EV Learning Center, and you're an EV enthusiast and an out-of-spec viewer, so thanks so much for watching.
Absolutely.
And thanks for volunteering your time, of course, to help train people or teach people about batteries.
Right. You're right. I'm glad to do it. Yeah.
So what is the class? What are you guys working on?
Well, this is geared toward junior high through high school, STEM education stuff here. We're trying to teach them about how to build what's this called? This would be a 3P7S battery for a scooter or a go-kart or what have you. They actually built the battery from scratch, from ground up. They spot weld the cells. They solder all the wiring.
Wow, yeah,
they
we can see a soldering tool here.
They add the battery management system.
What BMS are you using for this class?
I don't even. It's out of China.
Okay, yeah, just a generic one.
Generic.
Yeah.
It works. I vetted that. I looked at that, made sure it did what it's supposed to do, and
Sure.
you always got to do that with those things. But
So you're actually going to be taking, again, kids from ages, what would you say, 12?
11,
Okay.
11 up.
Yeah, 11 to 15, 11 to 18.
Well, we got some adults that want to take it, so that's always a. Hopefully they don't get too bored or whatever, but yeah. So, but mostly kids, yeah, from 11 through high school.
Okay, and so you're going to basically start with, essentially a kit where they can weld the cells onto this chassis that you've created, where you have all of your current collectors and everything like this on there. And what's the final product that they're going to be? I assume each child individually will be able to produce.
Well, this is the final product. Yeah, it's just a battery box. I mean, with plus and minus with the BMS inside. Now, everything, I'm going to try to emphasize that everything that goes into one of these go-karts that we put this into, I don't have the go-kart out here yet, is in your Tesla, except for the DC to DC converter. I mean, essentially it's got the contactor, it's got the BMS, it's got the batteries, it's got the motor, it's got the motor controller, and it also has a throttle, and so everything is there. So they're building an EV.
Wow. So this class is going to take them from a whole bunch of, off-the-shelf components, essentially, help them
Yeah.
assemble them into a way where they can really learn the bones of a modern electric car, just scaled down slightly.
Scaled way down. Primarily the battery portion, which is the most, you might say the most mysterious. Most people understand motors, and most people understand motor controllers for the most part.
Yep.
But the battery, we go into the detail, and they're going to learn about series, parallel, and they're going to learn about even get into concepts such as impedance. Hopefully, maybe Ohm's law.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing
That
that,
is- yeah.
thinking about, we were talking a little bit off camera, but, you take shop in high school,
Yeah.
20, 30, 50 years ago, and you learn the basics of a combustion engine and
Mm-hmm.
or a driveline or a differential. And well, times have changed. And honestly, this type of education has not kept up with the times changing. We should have been doing this 10 years ago.
I know it hasn't, yeah, because some things that might be obvious to you and me are a total mystery to a lot of the lay people out there. And I think that if we're gonna make electric mobility work, bikes, cars, I think there's got to be a better understanding in
Totally.
general.
Well,
yeah.
I can't thank you enough for volunteering your time,
Yeah.
and hopefully one of our viewers will actually join your class. Of course, the link will be in the
Yeah.
description to do
Right.
this, and it'll be a recurring situation that will change
It will.
over time.
We're planning on keeping this going. We have lots of materials, and we get lots of cells and batteries, and we have spot welders come in. So yeah, we would like to keep this going.
Amazing. Well, thanks, Lou, for the time. And you have a book. What's the name of the book?
Modular Battery Swap is the name of the book on Amazon.
Great. Well, we'll make sure that's
Yeah.
linked and in the pinned comment as well.
Thanks.
And
Appreciate
everyone,
it. Yeah.
take a look at Lou's book. And just amazing that you're spending this much time. You've done so much for electric mobility and been so
Yeah.
involved.
Well,
and here you are teaching young people about EVs. It's a really cool thing that you're doing.
They're our future, aren't they?
It's very
Kids
true.
are our future. Yeah. There you go.
Well, amazing. And thanks to the EV Learning Center, of course, for bringing everyone together. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Well, you guys also join me now with Tom Summers. And Tom, you have an incredible collection of Volkswagen buses. I mean, we've known each other for some time, but you've always been a Volkswagen guy. And then the other day I was here and you were here. And I'm like, what is this Volkswagen bus guy doing at the EV Learning Center? So tell us a little bit about the project that's just out of frame right now. We'll go show everyone. And also what got you interested in EVs?
Yeah, this bus appeared at my club one night, the Brazilian bus, and people had driven it all the way up from Uruguay. And I said, well, where are you staying? And they said, well, we don't know. And I said, well, you're coming to my house, and joined the other VW buses. And then they were kind of like doing emails and phone calls and trying to, I said, what's going on? Oh, we want to sell it. And I go, why? And they go, oh, we're homesick. We've been on the road for 2 years, coming up from Uruguay through the Darien Gap to Panama and all the way up through Central America and Mexico. And the name of the bus, Kyle, is El Rayo, which is Spanish for lightning bolt.
I love
And
it.
I said to myself, first of all, we're not going to register it in California because it's too new, and it deserves to be electrified.
And so what is the involvement? Obviously, sounds like you've donated the bus
Yeah.
and paid for a significant portion of the equipment
Yeah.
for students and folks who want to learn about EVs to literally learn on your own vehicle.
So it was a kind of a process. I got involved with San Diego Community Power, which is we call them CCAs here in California. It's basically a means to open up the grid for some competition and get some renewable energy onto the grid. And so I was a community advisor for the building of this utility. And my town, Imperial Beach, was the first to go online because we were the smallest, and they wanted some kind of a mascot, and I showed them this, and I said, yeah, we're going to make it electric, and this was in 2019.
Wow.
So time goes by and they keep bugging me, when's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready? And so I said, well, we haven't started yet. So I bought another converted electric bus, and I started driving it around and going to all of the promotional stuff to spread the word about San Diego Community Power. And meanwhile, I got hit by a drunk driver and totaled it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so we just kind of like took all of the stuff out of it and donated it and rolled up our sleeves and got busy on this one.
And so this one, so how did you choose this is the path forward to bring it here? What was that decision like?
So Michael and I are VW people.
Michael's across the street at EV West.
Yeah, and we've become friends. We have a really good common friend, Jehu Garcia.
Yep.
And he's done some really amazing stuff with
Jehu's incredible.
VWs. Yeah.
The best.
And that's just been this. It's been an all-consuming culture amongst us VW people. We're not the only ones. There's people are converting VWs all over the planet.
Yep.
Number one, there are so many of them. Number two, the architecture lends itself to these types of conversions. You can keep your transaxle, bolt an AC motor up to it.
It's just 4 bolts and you're done, basically.
Well,
A little bit more complicated than that, of course, but yes.
It's doable by
Yeah.
the common man, and
Yeah.
that's Michael's goal, is to be able to provide the components for people to do that.
Right, for kits and swaps.
He
yeah.
got into the salvaging wrecked Teslas and using the modules. He finds that the modules still have 95% of their life left in them.
Right. Yeah.
So, we package these modules into a form that. Do you want to go look and see?
Well,
it?
we'll do that. We'll do a deep dive. Yes.
You can put your modules in a form factor that will fit your vehicle.
It's very, very fascinating. And so, again, can't thank you enough for supporting the EV Learning Center. We have no direct affiliation with anyone here, but I just think it's such a great idea to expand the knowledge base of the general person. And so
it's a no-brainer.
So cool. It's amazing. And, and you got a collection. How many of these things do you have?
I just only have this one split window bus now.
Yeah.
I take it to different events like the Moab event and the Shasta Snow Trip and Buses by the Bridge and other VW get-togethers. I've been
amazing.
in this community for all my life, and so we like to go to the events just to see each other.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's turned into a friend group, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And now getting pretty hardcore into the electrification. Now, aren't you a Tesla guy as well?
Yes.
Yeah, you have a Model Y, I believe.
Yeah, I love it. And boy, I'll tell you what, it's as different as night and day.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a workout.
Yes.
And thanks to one of our guys here who's really a keen full self-driving guy. He's been helping me build my confidence with full self-driving.
Yeah, just testing it out here and there a little bit more.
Yeah.
Great, love it.
Yeah, we have some
Fantastic.
of the best volunteers here.
Yeah.
And it's on them for all of the work that we've done here.
Yeah.
Just so grateful for that. We're going to debut this thing in a couple of weeks.
Amazing. Well, thanks, and can't wait to see it when it's finished, and hopefully go for a drive in it at some point as well. Should be amazing. And again, love your story. I'm so glad you were here, so we were able to get you on our channel. But we somehow run into each other every day, seemingly, at least for the last week. So,
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see you soon.
The takeover was amazing.
Oh, it was just the best, just the best. All right, well, let's go continue on our tour of this. And there goes Tom and his bus heading out of here. So many cool vehicles in this parking lot. Buses, other vehicles for EV West, just EVs everywhere. It's just awesome to see. Well, there you guys go, a full tour of EVLC. Now, it's still very early days for the Electric Vehicle Learning Center. There's just a few classes that are starting to come up now. The curriculum that's being generated here, in theory, would be able to be replicated and multiplied in different areas. For example, there's a school for students with autism in Denver that EVLC is very much integrated with as well. So we have to go over there and check that out because that's just right on our home turf. Cannot believe I'm just finding out about this place. We're going to be totally totally involved as much as possible. This Chevy Aveo is actually electric and is part of EVLC's full conversion on this. Why you would convert something this terrible, I don't know, but it's really funny. And so just amazing stuff going on here. And please visit the EVLC website, donate, support, donate your time if you're locally. If you're local, I think we're going to probably end up sponsoring some of this from the out of spec side as well, because this is the type of education and knowledge that everyone needs to have. So thanks for watching another out of spec reviews video. I was in the area. I had to come and film it. It was amazing. And congratulations to everyone who's been involved in making this a real viable thing. See you on another one soon. Bye-bye.